It's skating action coming your way, featuring the Red Devils and the Chiefs. And it's coming your way from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. Trying to score back there for the Red Devils right now. 16 minutes. Chiefs run into traffic. None of the officials say. Three big points for the Red Devils, and they now lead the Chiefs 4-3. The small Harrison Jerry Seltzer calling the action coming away from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco. The Chiefs and the Red Devils. Coming away in this Chief Network. We have the Red Devils in the gray and the red. Your Chiefs in the green and the gold. Jerry, what kind of game could we look for between these two clubs?
Well, the Red Devils, of course, the Chiefs have not skated before, except one time in the Founders Cup. And they're a very aggressive team. They'll come at you strong, just like Ken Monty's teams. And both teams looking forward to skating back in the Northeast. We'll be telling the fans about that in a little while.
Okay, trying to move out of the jam. Rose Durant, number 15 for the Red Devils. There's her block. She's going to get out of there. She had probably having trouble getting her balance back. Out of the jam. And Rose Durant, number 15. Scales, a very underrated skater. Too big. She is a tanker out there on the track. Well, the Chiefs have nobody out on this jam. Now Claudia Hobbs breaks away. She's about half a lap back. Maybe a threat, may not be a threat. Sandy Dunn back to the lock, number 46 for the Chiefs. A great all-star skater. Rose Durant moving to the outside. Sandy Dunn meets her in the block. Is blocking up ahead, though, on Judy McGuire. She's passed for a point. As blocking in the back by Rosetta Saunders that time. Rose Durant has one. She might have two. She got two. She goes back to help Claudia Hobbs the rest of the way over the rail. Rose Durant. She got 2 points. She also, I believe, drew a penalty. Score now the Red Devils 6 and the Chiefs 3. Claudia Hobbs picks herself up without the aid of the trainer. She'll be all right.
If you'd like to put your name on the mailing list and receive special advanced scheduling information on games in your area, like that big Chief Red Devil series that's coming up, send your name to mailing list, Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California 94604. Please include the station on which you are now watching this program. Just give us the station number and the city on which you are watching.
The infield coach of the Red Devils is the veteran Ken Monty. Here we go, out of the jam again and moving. Number 11, Marcia Gibb, along with her Claudia Hodley, 49 for the Chiefs. Gibbs alongside of the block, and Hodley goes to the inside. That's blocking position. Tall girl puts the blocks on Marcia Gibb. These teams have a great series coming up from the Northeast. Telling you about that, places they'll skate and the dates they'll skate. Also, we're back to that big series coming up back there. Look out, Hodley really working on Gibbs. Puts her down, moves away. Great Joni Weston, Nick Scopus, and Bob Hine, the Bald Eagle, have been signed for this special one series only against the Chiefs by the Red Devils. They'll be strengthened for that series. And here is Claudia Hodley looking for scoring. Back to the block, Rosetta Saunders, number 18. Pivot skater, and a good one here for the Red Devils. Rosetta Saunders back there now is Rose Durant to do some blocking. He blocks out Claudia Hodley. Time running out on her. That's it. Shove, not a grab. And Saunders leaves the other Chief skater on the rail, doubled up to Barbara Baker. This is a rough, tough Red Devil team, no question about that. This is the first period of play, 2:45 to go in this period.
At the end of this half, Walt, you'll be talking to Coach Ken Monty, a great Red Devil coach and skater himself when they were in Brooklyn. This is really his first chance to come back as a coach to his old area in the Northeast.
There we go. The Red Devils also had the biggest female skater on the track out there, Aloha Linda Villanueva. Big one. Her number is 17. Out of the jam, the Red Devils controlling again. Fifth skater Saunders is going out on the jam. There's the winner. Looked out by Rose Durant. But out with her, Judy McGuire doing the job for the Chiefs. Oh, man, did Saunders ever slide along the track as she runs into Sandy down and gets belted out again. They're all tangled up. Can't get untangled. Now they're up. But here comes Judy McGuire in scoring position now. Judy did a fantastic job on Rosetta Saunders on that play. Saunders to the block on Judy McGuire. Saunders moving away from the pack again. She wants her team out of there in a pull-away. They got to take that 230-pounder with them on a pull-away, too. That's a tough job. Barbara Baker leading the charge here. Number 48. Judy McGuire gets a whip from Hodley. Now she's getting a double whip from Sandy Dunn and Barbara Baker, she goes by Aloha Villanueva. She goes by another skater. She has 2. She has a 3. She's shooting for 4 now. Judy McGuire. This will be a tougher one to get. She got no help. Ken Monty on the infield, I think, tried to point something out to his 2 skaters. They misunderstood him. They looked one way. Judy went the other way. I think Ken Monty's help kind of backfired there, Jerry.
Oh, it did, because these girls are nervous.
Up here, Saunders working on McGuire.
The Red Devils heading in to skate the Chiefs in the Northeast, and they stopped to listen to what Ken Monty was saying.
That 5 points on the play makes the score now the Chiefs 8 and the Red Devils 6 with 48 seconds to go in this period.
Well, next period we'll tell them about some of the big games coming up in their area, and also we'll mention something I'm sure is going to shock the Chief fans when we tell them what happened to Buddy Atkinson Sr. I'm sure they're all going to be quite surprised.
Here we go again. We got 30 seconds. They could score, but have to be quick. Seconds left. Dwyer trying to, he can't get out of there. Baker moving up. Baker's out. 20 seconds left though. It's not much time. Chiefs is slowing the back down. Baker leading on the play. Marcia Gibbs right behind him for the Red Devils. 3, 2, 1. That's it. No score on that jam. That is again the first period of play with the score. The Chiefs 8 and the Red Devils 6. Now into the second period of play here in the first half, and this game between the Chiefs and the Red Devils coming your way in the Chief Roller Derby Network. With Kezar Pavilion Derby Park in the city of San Francisco. And Bob Woodbury whips out number 14 on his glove, Jake Harris. Without with him on the play, Larry Lee of the Chiefs. Lee is a good one. Secondary jammer out too. They spin in their battle. Jake Harris trying to get by Larry Lee on the inside. Lee cuts him off. Now Lee gets blocking room, and he goes down as he's blocked over by Jake Harris, number 14 of the Red Devils. 8-6 is the score. The Chiefs lead the Red Devils. Jake Harris coming up fast on the jam, number 14. He's got a lot of blockers in front of him. Bobby Seaver, 13. Big Bob Woodbury, 2. He goes around the outside. They are blocking on the inside, and he slipped around on the outside. Jake Harris with a good move and good blocking by the Red Devils on the play. Kind of embarrassed the Chiefs there. 10-8 is now the score. The Red Devils on top. Here are some of those games coming up in the big Red Devil Chiefs series in the Northeast. August 5th on Sunday at Comac, New York, Long Island Arena at 7 p.m. August 6th on Monday, Binghamton, New York at Grove County Memorial Arena at 8 p.m. August 8th, Wednesday, Syracuse, New York at the Onondaga County War Memorial at 8 p.m. August 9th, Thursday, Glen Falls, New York, Senior High School Gym at 8 p.m. August 11th, Saturday, New York City, the Felt Forum, Madison Square Garden at 8 p.m. Remember, there's limited seating. Get your tickets early. August 12th on Sunday, Troy, New York, RPI Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. The other dates later on. Right now, we have 4 skaters out on the jam. And leading the charge here, Sam Diapola for the Chiefs. Gammon, Alfonso Reyes going at it on the rail. Diapola goes by for point, and Mike Gammon pin there, and big Alfonso Reyes raining in the punches and the knees. Hey, this is a rough Red Devil team. Alfonso Reyes had Mike Gammon pinned on the rail, and he was working him over.
Well, that shows you, Walt, this Red Devil team has got Ken Monty's philosophy. They keep coming at you, keep coming at you. No doubt in the women's field, Joan Wesson is going to help. With Ann Calvillo scheduled to captain this team, she had ligament surgery. Her ligaments had to be tied in her knees. She's going to be out till late October. And right now, Rosetta Saunders has an awful load to carry there with Rose Duran. Joan Wesson will be joining the team for that big series back there.
Along with Nick Scopus and Bob Hines. Boy, that'll make this Red Devil team rugged. I'll tell you about the rest of the dates coming up in the series in the Northeast in a few moments. Breaking out on the jam, number 17, moving here for the Red Devils. That is Charlie Gibson. Chase Gizzo. Joe Perez, 43, moving here for the Chiefs. Gibson lets him go by, sidesteps him. Goes the leg. Gibson is ready to come along with the skater, too. Fast, rough house team, the Red Devils. Gibson, Joe Perez, a real tough time. He takes him out of there. This Gibson is big and tall. With that kind of ability, he's going to be tough to handle. Rugged Bill Grohl back there to block for the Chiefs, 49. Bob Woodbury, number 18. may get back to help out Charlie Gibson. Here comes Joe Perez again. Woodbury will have to worry about Joe Perez. Slams him into the rail, but he can't move away from him. Perez still keeping his attention. There is Sam Tiapula doubling up Gibson with a block to the midsection. Then Woodbury runs into Tiapula and goes down, and he's passed in there by Perez. A point each way in that wild play there. Bill Grohl squares off with Gibson. If you want something, you're going to get him, but Ken Monty gets there immediately. Bob Seaver gets there. Look out. I think they need a few more Chiefs in there now. There's Larry Lee and Bill Grohl surrounded there for the moment by Red Devils. Some of those other dates in the East. We left off at August 12th, Sunday, Troy, New York, RPI Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. August 13th on Monday, Kingston, New York, Dietz Memorial Stadium at 8 p.m. The rain date there will be August 14th. August 15th, Wednesday, Jersey City, New Jersey, at Roosevelt Stadium at 8 p.m. The Roosevelt Stadium rain date will be August 16th. August 17th, Friday, Springfield, Massachusetts, Pacific Center at 8 p.m. August 18th and Saturday, Uniondale, New York, Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, 8 p.m. We'll tell you more about the latest. Alfonso Reyes out of the jam. Slam. Mike Gammon into the rail. Alfonso Reyes looks like he's picked out Mike Gammon as his best target. And JoJo Stafford upends Mike Gammon. They'll hear from Mike Gammon before they're finished. Bill Grohl back to the block. Alfonso Reyes, number 16, trying to score. Bobby Seaver, 13, trying to drop back to get a shot at Bill Grohl. He hits Alfonso Reyes instead, but Bill Grohl went down, but he's up before Reyes can go by him. Here comes Sam Tiapula in the jam, 42 for the Chiefs. Alfonso Reyes puts a block into him. Blocks him again, but Tiapula stays up. Now Seaver has to take over blocking on him. Reyes being blocked out by Bill Grohl. He goes around Bill Grohl. He went around him. He doesn't have the lead. He can't cut off the jam. Tiapula being blocked out by Bobby Seaver. 3, 2, 1. 1 point for the Red Devils. 12-9 is now the score. The Red Devils lead the Chiefs. This Red Devil team, the men's field, Jerry, it looks to me like they don't need any help.
They sure don't, and with Bob Hine and Nick Scopus joining, I guess, the Chief team, it kind of looks like they may be overmatched, but the Chiefs seemingly can always skate against the opposition.
I mean, the fact that Gibson right now shows me plenty, it's like he's really come along, and Alfonso Reyes has come along with Seaver and Stafford and Woodbury. They've got a lot of power.
That Gibson is an unusual story. He started as a referee and decided he'd rather skate. He's become a skater.
And a good one. Maybe that's a good way to start, to learn all the tricks first, Jerry. And breaking away on the jam, number 14, Jake Harris. And Jake Harris showed us something earlier in this period. Strong men's field. Larry Lee has got him. Larry Lee and Jake Harris. Into the leg by Larry Lee takes, way out on the floor goes Jake Harris, and away goes Larry Lee. Larry Lee had a cameraman down there that time to take a shot at him. He stopped to smile at him. He sort of hesitated. Took a big smile at the cameraman, then kept on moving. He knows what he's doing. But he's got Bob Woodbury now to contend with. Bob Woodbury, big, fat Bob Woodbury, 18. Could really rough up a place. He takes Larry Lee into the rail and slams him into the rail. Lee is down, and Woodbury's not finished. He's flattened him with that lion block. Officials cutting off the jam. Lee is down and hurt. Now Woodbury's working over another Chief. Perez. Woodbury never leaves the track without doing some damage. Bill Grohl trying to get at him, and Ken Monty gets in there between them. So does the referee. Larry Lee is down flat. He hasn't moved.
Walt, it's funny. I was just about to say Ken Monty really has Bob Woodbury under control, because here we've gone through over 7 minutes of the second skating period, and there hasn't been a penalty by Bob Woodbury. And then he goes out and demolishes the Chief team. Very unpredictable skater.
He is certainly hard to handle. 12 to 10 is now 11 is the score now. Woodbury after Perez again and decks him on the other side.
Walt, some of those dates you mentioned in the Northeast, for instance, at Glen Falls at the senior high school, and RPA Fieldhouse in Troy, and Kingston, New York, and Dietz Memorial Stadium. These dates were obtained by people in the area writing to us and getting a game schedule. We're going to tell the fans shortly how they can get a game scheduled in their area next season.
Larry Lee is up again and skating. Out on the jam for the Red Devils is Ted Tauscher, number 11. Whipped after into his Mike Gammon. Dynamite Mike off the loose, number 45. Mike moving in Ted Tauscher. Not for long, he goes right out by him. Tauscher comes back on the inside of the block on Gammon. Gammon hits him. Tauscher stays up. They've caught the pack. Bill Grohl back there to block on Tauscher now. Mike Gammon moving on Bobby Seaver. Almost outmaneuvered Wild Man Seaver, number 13. Bill Grohl takes on Seaver. Mike Gammon goes by for the point, but Bill, he cut off that jam just in time. Tauscher was going by Bill Grohl. Mike Gammon quickly cut off the jam after getting that point for the Chiefs. And that ties up the score at 12-12.
If you would like to have a game scheduled in your area and you have a gym at a high school or college or an arena that seats more than 2,500 people for a basketball type event, write to bookings, Post Office Box 1827, Oakland, California 94604. And remember, we can put this track any place that there's a basketball floor or a hockey rink. Why not have a game scheduled in your area?
Woodbury in a penalty box. Up yelling at the willing address announcer. Perez is decked there by Charlie Gibson, number 17. This guy looks like a junior Bob Woodbury to me. Same type of build. Woodbury out of the penalty box, coming off the track.
He has that same stand-up style. He looks like he's going to fall off over any minute, but he doesn't.
He's hit by Bill Grohl. Uses the rail to stay up. Here comes Joe Perez on the jam for the Chiefs. Gibson waiting for him. He missed him. Perez is a nice skating left. Gibson flat on his face. Perez moving behind Bill Grohl, blocking now. Moving on Bob Woodbury. He slid around him. I think he is clear by him for a point. He wasn't. He is now. 1 point in there for the Chiefs.
Ken Monty's going to keep Bob Woodbury from getting another penalty.
So the Chiefs go out in front now 13-12 over the Red Devils.
Well, it's not fair to say something and then not follow through on it. We mentioned about Buddy Atkinson Sr., who, of course, coached the Chiefs, really got them going, and with the team, they went on to win the world title, but I think every Chief will give you credit for that. Buddy can't stand being quiet. Great opportunity came along for him this week. The Midwest Pioneers, who've had so much problems getting it all together in spite of all their talent, announced that they have signed Buddy Atkinson Sr. as their infield coach.
That'll be a big help for that Pioneer club.
It's going to be something when they skate against the Chiefs.
Sam Tiafola on the jam. Look at the Samoan. American Samoa. Out and moving number 42. Alonzo Brace breaks away from the back. A long way back there. He's going to put it back in the back. The only man that's a threat right now is Sam Tiafola, 42, but big Bob Woodbury in there blocking. Hammering the blocks in there. Tiafola loses his helmet. There's a man in the infield. Two Chiefs took him there. I don't know if he's fast for a point. Alfonso Reyes. Stafford's up there. I don't know if he's a jammer, blocker, pivot skater. He has no helmet any longer. They're wild skating. I don't know who's scoring on who or what's happening out there. Tiafola goes by. Cuts it off. Tiafola ended up scoring. Grohl for the block. Woodbury got away. And Bill Grohl is decked by Seaver and jumped on by Woodbury. Oh, man. I couldn't tell who was doing what to who out there and why. But the points are scored by the Red Devils. No. We'll have to wait. This is one Red Devil point. I thought they pointed out the Chiefs for a point. I thought Sam Tiafola was in there, but evidently not. That is the end of the second period of play with the score. The Chiefs 13 and the Red Devils 13. Now they've made it 15 for the Chiefs. Action continues here on the bank track with Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. The Chiefs and the Red Devils, Walt Harris and Jerry Sutton calling the action just for the last time out was called. They did add 2 more points to the total for the Chiefs. Those are the points scored by Sam Tiafola. The Chiefs lead here, 13 of the Red Devils. And Judy McGuire breaks out of the jam, number 45, the flashing blonde moving here. Rose Durant in pursuit, number 15 for the Red Devils. Redhead in the blonde. Blonde wins. Redhead makes the deck. Now Rosetta Saunders takes off in pursuit of Judy McGuire. And Judy McGuire outskates her. And Judy is all by herself now. Saunders goes back into that pack. The pack still moving at a pretty good clip. half. Don't forget, I have an interview at the end of the half. In just a few moments, I'll start giving you the dates again of the big series coming back in the East here. The Chiefs and the Red Devils. The Red Devils will be strengthened for that series by Joni Weston, Nick Scopus, and Bob Hine. Judy McGuire blocked out by Rosetta Saunders, number 18. Fire down, picks himself up, starts moving again, but time's running out. He runs right into an elbow thrown by Saunders as time runs out. Over here in the rail, Sandy Dunn and Rose Duran having a few words. And Saunders takes over the argument. Puts them off, but there are two questions in there. Ortiz and Morrissey to stop the action. Those dates again, I'll give them to you a few at a time. August 5th on Sunday, Comac, New York, the Long Island Arena at 7 p.m. August 6th on Monday at Binghamton, New York, at the Brome County Memorial Arena at 8 p.m. Wednesday, August 8th in Syracuse, New York, at the Onondaga County War Memorial at 8 p.m.
Stan Potter will be refereeing that day.
August 9th, Glen Falls, New York, at the Senior High School Gym at 8 p.m. August 11th on Saturday, New York City, at the Felt Forum, Madison Square Garden at 8 p.m. Remember, limited seating there, but boy, you'll really be a part of the game in an arena like that. Get your tickets early on the Jam. Rose Duran, Sandy Dunn in pursuit. Rosetta Saunders after Sandy Dunn. Look out now. Sandy Dunn, great move. And she leaves the Red Devils on the deck. Sandy Dunn moving here for the Chiefs as they lead 15-13. She'd like to make it more. Third period of play in the first half. Saunders back to the block, number 18. Serve block on Sandy Dunn, number 48. And Sandy Dunn really being worked on by Rosetta Saunders. Saunders with another elbow, drapes her on the rail. Sandy Dunn spins off the rail. Rosetta Saunders hits her again with an elbow. Hits her with a knee block. Elbow block in there. Knee block in there. One after the other. And Sandy Dunn really being battered in here by Rosetta Saunders. And now a headlock and into the rail. A penalty and a point. Saunders, Woodbury of the women's field on this Red Devil team, really worked Sandy Dunn over. It'll cost her a point. It'll cost her a minute in the penalty box. But I guess she's satisfied with it. 16-13 is now the score. The Chiefs lead the Red Devils. His other dates. August 12th on a Sunday in Troy, New York at the RPI Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. August 13th and Monday, Kingston, New York, Dietz Memorial Stadium at 8 p.m. The rain date for that one will be August 14th. Then August 15th on Wednesday, Jersey City, New Jersey at Roosevelt Stadium at 8 p.m. The big game there. The rain date August 16th. August 17th on a Friday at Springfield, Massachusetts at the Civic Center at 8 p.m. Then August 18th on Saturday, Uniondale, New York, Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum at 8 p.m. That's the Red Devils and the Chiefs back there in a special series. And Joni Weston, Nick Scopus, Bald Eagle Bob Hine will join the Red Devils for that one series only against the Chiefs. Red Devils know Hine, great star at Cavallo. And had the cast taken off her leg the other day. On the jam, Claudia Hobdy, and out with her on the play, a little gal, number 13 for the Red Devils, Dolores Roberson. Little gal wins for the time being. 7:40 to go here in the third period of play in the first half. Remember, we'll have an interview at the end of the half. Dr. Ken Monty. Sandy Dunn blocking there, and Dolores Roberson. Here comes Hobdy down in a pile. In front of Sandy Dunn went Rosetta Saunders, and Sandy Dunn fell over the top, was passed for a point. Red Devils pick up one. They have 14 now. The Chiefs have 16. And here we go, Sandy Dunn and Saunders. Oh. The referee's not starting the count there. He's playing a one-minute penalty. Sandy Dunn. Looks like he's going to start the count. 1, 2, up and down.
Well, you know, he was signaling that Sandy Dunn was the aggressor, and Rosetta Saunders would not have gotten a penalty if she hadn't turned around and hit the other Chief girl. So, you know, Walt, that game in Jersey City, Roosevelt Stadium, that is where Rosetta Saunders is from. Not from Roosevelt Stadium, but Jersey City. And that holds 30,000 seats. That should have a great crowd turning out there. It's a great place to watch it. Acres of parking around there, and I understand there's special children's prices, so that should be a great thing to see.
They'll see the World Champion Chiefs against this Wild Red Devil team with Big Bad Bob Woodbury, Ken Monty, and joining them, Joni Weston, Bald Eagle Bob Hine, and the Wild Man Nick Scopus. It'll be a great game for both of those teams. Here we go. Sandy Dunn in the penalty box and Rosetta Saunders in the penalty box. Each team with 4 skaters out there. Rose Durant and 5 skaters out on the jam. Chasing her, but not very strongly, is Maureen Gallagher, 42. Gallagher is pouring on now. So Durant not trying to outskate her. She'd rather eliminate her. Hooked her. She went by, put her down. Almost grabbed her. Rose Durant moving on the back now. Back to the block, Judy McGuire, 45. Judy, who can do it all. Knee block. Flashing blonde, Judy McGuire. You gotta like that gal. One of these 110% skaters. Out of the penalty box, Sanders and Dunn, and they start punching each other right off the bat. Over on the rail, they're going at it. They're going to be passed by the jammers. The jam is cut off by the Red Devil skater before Gallagher could get up there for the Chiefs. So it's 1 point. Look out. Ooh, this Saunders can really punch. She's hooked in there by Baker. Look out, the way that Saunders those punches, I'd watch it. Duran got one in there, and Baker, too. Sandy Dunn draws a penalty again. She's starting and losing these fights here.
You know, it's amazing. This is kind of a neutral site. San Francisco for a game between the Chiefs and the Red Devils. The Bomber fans here, I guess, hate the Chiefs so much for taking that world title away from the Bombers that they're following the Red Devils and they're cheering for them no matter what the Red Devils do. There are 2 league training centers throughout the United States, and there are only 2 affiliated with this league. One is in the Pioneer Training Center. It opens every night, Saturdays and Sundays, at the Chicago Amphitheater. Lou Donovan Trainer. For information, call 312-376-7050. The other training center, the Bomber Training Center, 631 Buena Vista Avenue in Alameda, operated by Buddy Atkinson Sr. Classes nightly, Saturday and Sunday. For information, call 521-5700, area code 415. And remember, if it's not one of these 2 centers, it is not affiliated with our league.
Out on the jam and moving number 16 for the Red Devils, Catherine Shaw. There we go again. Saunders. They've got Judy McGuire. Shaw goes by for the point. 1 point Red Devils. You know, off what I've seen of Rosetta Saunders in this game, Gary, I would say after the Red Devils skate the Chiefs at the Felt Forum in New York at Madison Square Garden on August 11th on a Saturday, that they'll probably hold Saunders over for the following week and let her headline the boxing show there.
She is really throwing some punches out there. Very strong girl.
I hope that they get a lightweight in the top 10 to take her on. Anybody below that would be in trouble.
Well, whoever they put in there, they'll say that they're in the top 10 so they can book the match.
Saunders throws a right hand beautifully.
One of the big events, Roosevelt Stadium, is Assistant Commissioner Joel Kaufman will make his refereeing debut that night, Walt. He's going to get out there and referee. He feels that in our league, like other leagues, the commissioner should do everything, and officiating is a big part of it.
Good luck. Sandy Dunn on the jam with Rose Duran. Sandy Dunn's waving for a jammer to come up. Barbara Baker is coming up. Sandy Dunn slows down Duran. Duran breaks away now. She has to chase Barbara Baker, number 48. Saunders and Sanders. Instead of Saunders and Sandy Dunn at the end of the pack. Lead jammer is Barbara Baker of the Chiefs. Score is tied up here 16-all, 2:35 to go in the 7th period of play. Rosetta Saunders is back there to block now as Barbara Baker moves up. There comes Baker. There's Saunders, 18. Fisher's keeping an eye on Saunders' type of blocking out there. She dumped Baker. Now she's working on Sandy Dunn, and there's Duran going by for the point. More blocking. She's going to get more. She's going to get a bundle. Look at that Red Devil wall up there across the trackers. They rode the Chiefs right into the rail. 4 big points in there. They just sort of put a wall up there, and they rode that Chief team right into the rail. And 20-16 is now the score. The Red Devils in front.
After this series in August, the Chiefs open their regular series in the East. I believe, Walt, this is the 26th of October. The fans get on the mailing list. As we told them earlier, they'll get advance information in the mail. The Chiefs will open the regular season just about the last Sunday, I believe, in October. So be sure and see this one series in August. It'll be your only chance of the summer.
Here we go again. The pack is formed. Jammers starting from the rear of the pack. They'll have to work their way out of there. And out of there in a hurry, number 16, Catherine Shaw, the Red Devils. Judy McGuire out to challenge. Here comes Sandy Dunn on the move. Sandy Dunn talking to Judy McGuire. Backward, look out. Sandy Dunn has the lead in the jam now. Sutter Saunders in pursuit. Sandy Dunn waiting for it. Puts an elbow block into Saunders. Another one, and Saunders goes down. Away goes Sandy Dunn. Mike Gavin up on the infield yelling, clapping his hands. Good job, Sandy. Sandy Dunn moving in a pack now. Saunders back to the block along with Rose Duran. Sandy Dunn throws herself into the middle of that block. Judy McGuire drops back to give her some help. Watch it again, backward. Sandy Dunn moves in there for one, leaving Duran out here on the floor. Saunders passed for another one, and 2 cheap points in there by Sandy Dunn. 20 seconds to go in this period. The 2018 score now. The Red Devils in front. They'll not get another jam underway. Men are getting up. They're getting ready to go into action here in the 4th and final period in the first half. At the end of the half, of the interview with Ken Money. That is the end of the 3rd period of play with the score. The Chiefs 18 and the Red Devils 20. Skating action continues here on the bank track at Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. This is Walt Harris and Jerry Seltzer calling the action on the track here in the 4th and final period in the first half, and Larry Lee is out of there. Larry Lee moving on the jam, being chased by Jake Harris, number 14. Jake Harris and Larry Lee alongside now. They're hitting in that pack. They're hitting on the jam. That's the kind of action you get in this kind of a game. Fast, hard skating action. Jake Harris looking great. Larry Lee. Larry Lee back to the inside. Blocking Jake Harris. Harris, the Red Devils, number 14. Larry Lee, 44, the Chiefs. Jake Harris leading now. They move on the pack. Back to the box. Sam Tiapulla, 42 for the Chiefs. There's his block on Harris. Larry Lee being blocked out by JoJo Stafford. Stafford, number 15, and the Red Devils doing a job on Larry Lee. Santiapulla drapes Jake Harris on the rail. JoJo Stafford keeping an eye on the jammer. Larry Lee as he's being whipped by Tiapulla. He goes underneath Stafford's block. Stafford grabs him as he goes by. Could be an extra point there on the penalty. Let's see if they award it. Point on the play, 1 on the penalty. They only chalked up 1 on the scoreboard, though, for the Chiefs. They've chalked up 2 now. It's a 20-20 game. Stafford was passed. He reached out and grabbed Larry Lee, and that's the second point on that penalty. 20-20 is the score now, here in the 4th and final period in the first half. Tiapulla now, he's jamming this time. Blocking the last play, he's being chased by number 11, Ted Tauscher, and the Red Devils. Chiefs are full strength out there. The Red Devils minus a skater with going to the penalty box. JoJo Stafford. Tiapulla still leading on the jam. Alfonso Reyes working on Mike Gammon in the back, spinning him around. Alfonso Reyes, for some reason, has picked out Mike Gammon as his special target in this game. Tiapulla being blocked out by Bob Woodbury. Tauscher being blocked out by Larry Lee, 44. Bob Woodbury rides Tiapulla into the rail. Tauscher put up there by Larry Lee. There's another block by Woodbury. Drapes Tiapulla on the rail. Now Woodbury moving up to give Tauscher's help, moving on Larry Lee. Blocks him out of there. Tauscher goes by for 1 and cuts off the jam. 1 Red Devil point on the play. They lead now 21-20.
You feel any moment that you don't know what Bob Woodbury is up to. At any time, suddenly this Red Devil team, which skates very hard but very erratic, is suddenly going to take off and do something.
Well, their men's field certainly has a lot of strength out there.
They're very big if you look at them, and very young team.
Here we go again. 21-20, the Red Devils lead by 1 over the Chiefs. And Charlie Gibson is out of there again, and with him is Joe Perez. Jumping Joe Perez of the Chiefs. Gibson hits him. Perez back to the inside. Here's Gibson, hits him again. And then he goes into the rail. Perez battling there against Gibson. Gibson belts it. He misses the next one. Perez gets away. Look at these men skate out there, too, and throw blocks at the same time. Gibson, 17 of the Red Devils. Joe Perez, 43 of the Chiefs. They're moving it back. Woodbury working on Bill Grohl. Gibson goes by for the point. He goes by on the inside. Did he get another one? I think he got 2 more, 3 more. Gibson was in good skating, staying on the track and not touching the infield that time. And it's a 24-20 game. The Red Devils out in front. I tell you, I keep looking at this Red Devil men's field, Jerry, and for that special series against the Chiefs back east, they're going to be strengthened with Nick Scopus and Bob Hine, and I don't see where they need them. It's a strong club.
Well, even their rookies, Ted Tosher looks very, very good. As you mentioned, Gibson looks awfully good. Jake Harris looks good. They're really carrying the game. I don't see Bobby Seaver so far and JoJo Stafford doing that much this half. And it seems as though their other jammer is only staying on Mike Gammon.
Well, you have men like Stafford and Seaver, and they're taking it easy. You can shoot them in the last half, and they'll be relatively fresh. Alfonso races out, and Mike Gammon is after him. Let's see what happens now. Mike Gammon moving on big Alfonso Reyes. Down the ankles. Mike Gammon with a good move on the big man. That puts him back in the pack. The only threat now is Dynamite Mike and the Chiefs. 6:54 to go in the first half. Gammon on the outside. He might get around her with that speed. He did. He threw the Red Devils completely off stride. He might score 5. He does. Mike Gammon showing you why he's one of the greatest to ever pick up points on the bank track. He's grabbed by Bob Woodbury. Woodbury just picked him up and threw him over the rail.
All those moves of Mike Gammon, not of Bob Woodbury. He's going to get a penalty for that, but Mike Gammon is just something to see on that track.
Amazing on that play. Bob Woodbury completely threw the Red Devils off stride with his clever skating and tremendous speed. Woodbury just picked him up and bodily threw him over the rail, but he scored 5 points, and the Chiefs are out in front 25-24 over the Red Devils.
I want to remind everyone you're going to be talking to Ken Monty at halftime, and also that you're going to see the second half later on the station. I got to be careful. Well, a lot of stations show the second half week following the first half, but I said that one time, and a viewer wrote me from Springfield, Massachusetts. He says, I watch on Channel 40 here in Springfield. He said the second half will be on later, and I waited all day Sunday, all night Saturday night, and all Sunday morning. So check the time for the next telecast. That's when you're going to see the second half.
The Red Devils are sending out the wild man, Bobby Seaver, this time. Woodbury's in the penalty box. The Red Devils are in charge. They have the only jammer out. Joe Stafford wearing the pivot. Bobby Seaver came back to action this year. He was a wild man in fact for many seasons. And had knee trouble for a long time before he could get back in the bank track. He refereed a little bit, a little this, a little that, and he was out for almost a couple of years. But he's back now, trying to hit his stride again. Bill Grohl blocking out Bobby Seaver. Remember, the Red it's a blocking point by JoJo Stafford as he rode Tiapula up in the rail. Seaver has 1 point. He can't pass Tiapula for another point in the same lap. He'd have to go around and catch up with him again. There he goes for another point. Now he has 2. So the Red Devils, 1 man short, pick up 2 points with the wild man Seaver out. I guess it figured with Woodbury in the penalty box, send out a top jammer, and they did. They grabbed the lead again, 26-25 over the Chiefs.
Of course, this is a very simple game to understand, but if you would like to get a free copy of the rules, put your name, address, city, zip code, and the station on which you watch this game. Please let us know the station and city on which you watch this game. And put that on a postcard, mail it to Rules, Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California, 94604, and you'll receive a free copy of the rules. Well, it seems to me in quite a while we haven't really told the fans how to play the game. Maybe we can explain to them what's happening.
If we find a quiet jam, we will.
Okay.
Okay, out of the jam is Mike Gammon, and he left ahead of the pack. 60 seconds started to tick off. At the end of that time, this jam will end. Now that he's out, his job is to catch up with that pack again. When he does, for every man he passes, he will get credit for a point. It's like lapping a man. If you know how a mile race is run in the track, one man gets so far out in front of the others, he starts lapping the slow men. Well, in this game, when you start lapping a man, you get credit for a point. So Mike Gammon has got the pack. For every Red Devil he goes by now, he'll be lapping that man. He will get credit for a point. Of course, they're not that easy to get, except for a man like Mike Gammon sometimes. Bill Grohl back there where he can lead the charge for Mike Gammon. Moving in Bobby Seaver and Woodbury. Woodbury next to Mike Gammon. Woodbury on the rail. Mike Gammon almost got by him. Can't see Mike Gammon through the crowd of skaters out there. 1. That's it. No score in the play. And now here we go. Stafford pounding away while Woodbury's holding Gammon. Now a knee in there by Woodbury. Bill Grohl throws a right hand. The Woodbury goes underneath. No point scored. It remains 26-25. The Red Devils lead the Chiefs. That's how it's scored. The first jammer, when he leaves the head of the pack, you must start from the rear of the pack. When he leaves the head of the pack, 60 seconds start to tick off. Any jammer coming out after the first jammer's out would have what's left of that 60 seconds in which to score. During that time, their job is to get around that track, catch up with the pack again. And when they do, every member on the opposing team they pass, they will get credit for a point. Now, the lead jammer can cut off the play with motion of the hands and the hips, and only the lead jammer can do so. Of course, officials can cut off the jammer and the skater. When the 60 seconds is up, that jam ends. The only time that doesn't hold through is the end of the half. First half and the end of the game. And Bobby Seaver's out again for the Red Devils, to lead by 1. He gave the lead the last time he was out. Larry Lee tries to get out. Woodbury puts him back in the pack. In the penalty box for the Red Devils, is the skater, Stafford. Coming up on the pack, Bobby Seaver for the Red Devils. Bill Grohl back to the block. The only threat is the Red Devil. Last time they were down to 4 men. Seaver went out and got a couple of points. He's the only man out again. Red Devil's trying to make it a pull away here. Skate out the remaining time of that 60 seconds, which is about 10. Woodbury chasing the pull away with Bobby Seaver behind him. I don't think they're going to catch him. Here's a whip. They're not going to catch him. Bill Grohl waits for him. Hits him. Alfonso Reyes has come on. We'll try it again. There's only a couple of seconds left. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. That is it. No point scored. Chiefs with Bill Grohl protecting. Made that pull away work. Minute 15 to go in the first half. The score remains the Red Devils 26 and the Chiefs 25. And we'll talk to Ken Monty at the end of this half.
We're really seeing a hard-skated game out there, Walt. It started out as though it was going to explode, that the Red Devils were going to start really being aggressive, but it's really both teams very, very evenly matched. It's the kind of game you really like to watch when you want to see some skating.
Here we go again. Tell that to Bob Woodbury.
I'm sitting here as a spectator. I'll let him do what he
Red
wants
Devils
to do.
get the 2 jammers out again, Jerry. Charlie Gibson and Ted Tauscher. Mike Gammon is going to whip out rugged Bill Grohl to take on the 2 of them. Woodbury blasted Mike Gammon out of there, and he takes off after Bill Grohl. The jammers are slowing down, waiting for Bill. Give Woodbury a chance to get up there, and he blasted right through him, did Bill Grohl. Now Woodbury in pursuit of Bill Grohl. Woodbury after Bill Grohl. Bill Grohl lets him go by. Gets the inside blocking position. Bill Grohl, 49. Bob Woodbury, 18. Moving on the back. Bobby Seaver back to the block, number 13 for the Red Devils. Bill Grohl, oh, yeah, he's got him. Bill Grohl with a great move on Woodbury. And he completely fooled Seaver, and great blocking by his teammates on the play. And he picks up 4 big points here at the end of the first half. So the score at the end of the first half is the Chiefs 29 and the Red Devils 26. I'm with me, Ken Monty, the infield coach of the Red Devils. They have a big series coming back in the Northeast when they take on the Chiefs back there. Ken, you started your career in the East. You've been out of it, so to speak, for a while as an administrator. Now you're back as an infield coach. You're like a war horse. You couldn't wait to get back there with a good team?
Well, that's true. The team was so good. It's just something you couldn't refuse. And then, again, I know about this trip coming up back East, and I just want to go back there and prove to the people that there's a lot more to skating than what the Chiefs keep thinking and saying there is.
How about a man like Bob Woodbury? Now, I know you work on this man. You try and keep him under control, but is that possible?
Well, that's 90% of the coaching job, I think, is trying to control Bobby. You've got to talk to Bobby. He gets carried away in the game, and if you can get close to him soon enough, then you can control him, and the penalties won't hurt you so much.
Actually, when you say carried away, he actually does get so involved that he really doesn't know what he's doing sometimes.
That's what I mean. In other words, it's like looking down a tunnel and just seeing a light at the end of it. He don't look for either side. He just wants to get done what he's trying to get done, and he don't care about the consequences. But that makes for a great aggressive skater also.
Of course, you're minus Ann Cavello, who was seriously injured in a game here on the West Coast, but you're going to pick up for this one series just for the series, Joni Weston, Bob Hine, and Nick Scopus. What'll that mean to you when you take on the Chiefs back east?
Oh, that'll be a tremendous help, and I'm about Ann Cavello. It's just a shame, but with Joni Weston, Nick Scopus, and Bob Hine on the team, I feel sorry for the Chiefs. We're just going to annihilate them because those are 3 great skaters to begin with, and if nobody's ever seen the Golden Girls skate, this is going to be one heck of an opportunity, along with Nick Scopus, Bob Hine, Bob Woodbury, the regular Red Devil team to boot.
Well, when you say annihilate the Chiefs, aren't you overlooking the fact that they are the world champions, and you don't get that without talent?
Oh, that's true. They're a talented team. I just think we weren't in the playoffs this year, so I think we can supersede that by not saying they beat us when they didn't beat us, because this is our first crack at them, so to speak.
Well, that's true, your first chance, but they're a team loaded with talent. I mean, they're not a big physical club like you have out there. You have a big men's field. Yet, when you look up and down their line, they're all sturdy, tremendous skaters. Mike Gammon, Bill Grohl, Sam Tiapola, Larry Lee is a fine one.
Well, the team is right at its prime right now. There's no question about that, because they don't have what you'd call a real young skater on the team outside of Larry Lee. All the rest of them have your 3 and 4 years of skating ability, along with your 15 and 20 years skating ability on that team. So what you would say it was a nice mature team right now. In other words, I think it's reached its peak. If anything, it'll start going back downwards.
You're coming up.
Yeah, we're going through a whole building program. You've got to take some of these lumps. We did well against the Bombers here in the series. We did well against the Pioneers, and now we're coming up against this Chief team, and I think we're going to do better than well, because we're seasoning now.
Does this give your team an advantage, having you as the infield coach, when the Chiefs do not have an infield coach?
I think it has an advantage to an extent. There's pro and con on that. I personally believe that being an infield coach, you can see things that you can't see when you're skating, that you miss completely. The only trouble with being a coach in the infield is you can't put your finger on it immediately. You got to wait until the jam's over, because everybody's moving around.
You run out there, you get run over.
That's true. You get really killed. But you do see, and then you got a person out there with Bob Woodbury who has got the savvy, and then a Rosetta Saunders, Nick Earlfield, and I could just shout something to them, and they know what I'm talking about, and they know what's happening. This makes it nice.
Good. Well, Ken Monty, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, Walt.
Ken Monty is going to lead the Red Devils in that big series back east against the Chiefs. Well, the score here at halftime was the Red Devils 26 and the Chiefs 29. This Walt Harris speaking on behalf of Jerry Seltzer from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco. It's skating action coming your way on the bank track from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco. It's the Chiefs and the Red Devils. This is Walt Harris and Jerry Seltzer to call the action. We are in the 5th period of play, the 1st period in the last half, with the score, the Chiefs 32 and the Red Devils 29. We have 6 minutes, 9 seconds left to go in this period. Let's pick up the action on the track as they're getting the pack formed for another play. Jerry, we had a great first half. They started out fantastic here in this last half, so we should have a lot of action.
It seemed in the first half as though they were feeling each other out somewhat. Here they're coming back a lot rougher already to start the second half. And with Bob Woodbury and Ken Monty, Lord only knows what we're in for.
That's Saunders down, put there by Sandy Dunn. Later on, we'll also be giving you dates of a special series coming up in the East between these same 2 clubs. Let me add, for that one series only, the Red Devils will be strengthened with the addition of Joni Weston, Bald Eagle Bob Hine, and Wild Man Nick Scopus. That will be one great series, folks, in the East. People on the Chief Network, stay with us. We'll give you those dates and places. Judy McGuire out there with Rose Duran, number 15 of the Red Devils. Judy McGuire, number 45. The secondary jammers are out. Debbie Thompson also out of the play for the Chiefs, and Marcia Gibbs for the Red Devils. Right now it's Rose Duran and Judy McGuire. There they are as they battle around that track. McGuire 45, Rose Duran 15 for the Red Devils. Red Devils in the gray and the red. The Chiefs in the green and the gold. They're coming up on the pack now. Rosetta Saunders back to the lock, number 18 for the Red Devils. And Judy right underneath the legs. Judy scores. You going to try for more? No. 1 point they settle for. Grant tried to follow Judy, but there was no room. That's 1 point for the Chiefs. They lead 33-29 now over the Red Devils.
Walt, the Red Devils obviously missing a very important skater when Ann Calvello tore her knee ligaments, had surgery. She will be out till late October. This is one reason, of course, they are picking up the Joan Weston on this series.
This end of the track, Bob Woodbury holding Saunders back. He wants to keep her in the game, but somebody has to do that to him when he's on the track. There's Woodbury trying to calm Saunders down.
Two Chief skaters out of the lineup in this game, John Early and Carolyn Moreland. They are not injured. They're off doing some advance work for the Chief team coming in, so they will rejoin the Chiefs for the next game.
So the pack is formed, and here we go again to the play. 3:50 go in this period. Jammers trying to work their way out of that pack. Catherine Shaw moving up. Judy McGuire gets by the inside. She's out of there first. No, she's whipping out. Barbara Baker. Judy had a blocker's helmet on. It's Barbara Baker on the jam, number 48. Now with her to challenge her on the play, number 13, Dolores Roberson. Each team with one jammer out of the play. Both clubs at full strength. Roberson goes down. Baker goes down. The back's going to catch up with the jammers on the rail here. Rosetta Saunders is standing down for the moment. Lonnie on the track. The infield coach of the Red Devils giving a round of applause to Dolores Roberson, doing a fine job for a youngster. The veteran Barbara Baker of the Chiefs. Roberson coming up in the back. There's Sandy Dunn there to block. Number 46 for the Chiefs. Elbow block. Spins Roberson into the rail. Saunders back there now where she can block Roberson. Roberson's jersey looks like it would fit somebody like Joni Weston. So big for her. He look out. Out in a tangle, arms and legs go. The jammer and the blocker. Saunders and Roberson. The time runs out before they can make another effort. So no score in the play. It remains 33 for the Chiefs and 29 for the Red Devils.
If you'd like to put your name on the mailing list and receive special advanced scheduling information on game in your area, send your name, address, city, zip code number of the station on which you watch this program to mailing list. Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California 94604. And of course, Walt, with the Chiefs opening their home series late October in the East, actually the last Sunday in October, the fans will want to get on the mailing list, so they'll get the schedule ahead of time. There's one short series coming up in August, and we'll tell them about it the next period. And of course, in case you weren't watching last week when we gave you the information, Buddy Atkinson Sr. has come out of retirement and is coaching the Chicago Pioneers team.
Go again. Jammers trying to move out of the pack. Durand moving up on Sandy Dunn. He gets by Sandy Dunn. Barbara Baker about Judy McGuire. Sandy Dunn is also going out to talk to Baker. It's a double whip they're setting up to Judy. Look out, too much speed into the turn and it could be a disaster. Oh, she made it. Oh, out on the floor, hard went Durand who threw that block and under the rail. Oh, she's okay. She's coming back on the track. Boy, she went out of there fast and hard on her back. So Judy McGuire, who recovered in time to get by Rose Durand's block. The only jammer now is Judy McGuire of the Chiefs. She's the only girl in scoring position. For every member of the Red Devils she passes now, she'll get credit for a point. Rose Durand, a jammer, is the first obstacle, but Durand, remember, is back in the pack. She's no longer out on that jam. She's blocking now on Judy McGuire. Judy McGuire trying it again as they come into the stretch. She gets by Durand. She gets by Saunders. She has two. Saunders over the rail. A whip from Sandy Dunn. She has two, but time runs out. She settles for the two. Two big points of great skating by the flashing blonde Judy McGuire. And the Chiefs now lead 35-29 over the Red Devils. There's Saunders giving a knee to Sandy Dunn after decking. Another Chief, I think, was McGuire. And then nobody was looking at those penalty calls in the morning. Mornings don't cost you a thing. 35-29 is the score. 15 seconds to go here in the first period in the last half. Fifth period in the game.
That's something officials have to go on sometimes, Walt. They have to decide whether to call penalties or to warn skaters and try and keep it going. They're afraid of taking the action completely away from the skaters.
So the score here at the end of the fifth period of play is the Chiefs 35 and the Red Devils 29. Moving now into the sixth period of play. This is Walt Harrison, Jerry Seltzer calling the action from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco. Joe Perez is flying out of there for the Chiefs in the jam. Also on the track for the Chiefs is Bill Grohl, 49, Larry Lee, 44, Sam Teeple, 42. Travis Buck, the other man. The other man is 48. That man is Lloyd Turpin. Out of the jam, number 11 for the Red Devils, Ned Tauscher. They also have on the track Charlie Gibson, 17. Joe just after 15, Bob Woodbury 18. They're minus a man. Saunders drew a penalty at the end of that last period, which he decked Sandy Dunn and Judy McGuire a second time. Tauscher the block and Perez. Bill Grohl, 49, with a block on Tauscher. Bob Woodbury blocking out Joe Perez. Chiefs are minus John Early in this game. Perez moving again on Woodbury, and there's Woodbury the knee and an elbow block. Hits you up with a knee and drives you down with an elbow. Bill Grohl with a block on Tauscher. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and no score in the first jam here in the 6th period of play. Here are the dates coming up for that big series in the East between these two clubs. Remember, the Red Devils will be strengthened for that series only, by Joni Weston, Bob Hine, and Nick Skopas. Be August the 5th on Sunday at Comac, New York, in the Long Island Arena at 7 p.m. August 6th on Monday at Binghamton, New York, Rome County Memorial Arena at 8 p.m. August 8th on Wednesday, Syracuse, New York, the Onondaga County War Memorial at 8 p.m. August 9th on Thursday, Glen Falls, New York, Senior High School Gym at 8 p.m. August 11th on Saturday, New York City at the Felt Forum at Madison Square Garden at 8 p.m. Remember, it's limited seating, but a very intimate arena. A great place to watch sporting events, and you'll love it for the skating action you'll see there. That's August 11th, Saturday, New York, Felt Forum, Madison Square Garden at 8 p.m. Bob Woodbury winning that battle, and he's out and moving. Bill Grohl is down and hurt at the other end of the track. He's been replaced on the track. He's off the track. They're letting the jam continue. Woodbury blasted Bill Grohl to the track. We cannot see through the chief bench to see how he is. The trainer is working with him. Bob Woodbury trying to score. Big bad Bob. Larry Lee. Boy, he just fights his way through there for 4 points. 4 points. Bob Woodbury just sort of manhandles people as he goes through. Nothing expert about it, just a manhandling job. Bill Grohl has still not gotten up. In addition to that August 11th date in New York City at Madison Square Garden Felt Forum, August 12th on Sunday, Troy, New York at the IPI Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. August 13th and Monday, Kingston, New York at the Dietz Memorial Stadium at 8 p.m. The rain date for that August 13th game will be August 14th. August 15th and Wednesday, Jersey City, New Jersey, Roosevelt Stadium at 8 p.m. for a tremendous game. The rain date there will be August 16th. August 17th on Friday, Springfield, Massachusetts at the Civic Center at 8 p.m. August 18th on Saturday, Uniondale, New York, Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum at 8 p.m. If you missed the dates, places, I'll give it to you later on during this telecast. Bill Grohl is on his feet now, favoring the small of his back. Charlie Gibson out, working on Larry Lee. Out and away on him. Boy, he's a young Bob Woodbury. Charlie Gibson. There goes Larry Lee. Larry Lee is dumped again by Stafford as he gets up. That's happened to you. You get dumped in the jam and the back hits it up to you. You're just getting to your feet again and boom, they lower the boom on you again and down you go. Sam Tiapola wearing the pippin helmet back there to block on Charlie Gibson. Bob Woodbury back there to give Gibson's help. There are two big men out there. You can see they tower over Tiapola. Coming up in the jam, Joe Perez. Gibson will have to worry about him. He does. He dumps him. Gibson has 1 point. He passed Tiapola. He's got 2 more, or 1 more. I couldn't see that other point. The score goes to 35-35 here. It's Red Devil Men's Club. Make no mistake about that. They're loaded with power.
You know, you look at their raw strength out there, and you see, whoa, Bob Woodbury just completely demolished Joe Perez, throwing him in the penalty box. You see Woodbury go through the pack. You see Jake Harris. You see Gibson. Awfully strong team.
Now he's on Larry Lee. Bill Grohl's trying to get at him. Bill Grohl chasing Woodbury. Hard to catch him at. If you're going slow, he grabs Mike Gammon to choke him. The referee's holding Bill Grohl back, and Woodbury taking the place apart. Bill Grohl still trying to get at him. Woodbury staying out of his way. Woodbury standing amongst his own players, sort of challenging Bill Grohl, who's hit from behind by Bobby Seaver and leveled. This is that kind of a Red Devil club. Bob Woodbury, Wildman Seaver, Bill Grohl on his face again. As Woodbury was egging him on, Seaver came up behind and gave him both hands to the back of the neck. A wild skating Red Devil club who have tied up the score here 35-35. You know, Larry Lee has always impressed me as one of the finest looking young skaters in the league, and yet this Charlie Gibson is really giving him a bad time in this game.
Well, I think Gibson has one thing that Larry Lee doesn't have. Larry Lee is very tall, and his got such great balance, but he is not heavy. And Gibson seems to have quite a bit of weight on him.
So here we go. Woodbury in the penalty box. Red Devils have 4 skaters out there. Perez is going to be out of there first. He's whipped out by Sam Tiapulla. Bill Groh's been out of action for several minutes. For a bad block by Woodbury at the other end. He just gets in shape in the back and is blasted again. The lone jammer's at Chief. Red Devils only have 4 out there. Woodbury in the penalty box. The Chiefs have 5. They've the only jammer out, Joe Perez. Joe Stafford back to the block, and he's waving for Perez to come up, challenging him, daring him to come up. Well, he'll come up. You can count on that. 35-35 the score. 6th period of play. 5:25 to go. Leg in there by Stafford. Knee block by Stafford. Knee block again by Stafford. Elbow block by Stafford. Perez is down, spins out his skates again. Stafford hits him again. Really slams him hard. Chiefs can't get a blocker back there to help out Perez. Woodbury back on the track out of the penalty box. Time to do the damage. There he is. That was Stafford that time. That's quite a helmet that Woodbury is wearing. Looks like a white derby or a white bowler he's wearing. He got out of the penalty box in time to do some damage there. 35-35 the score remains. Chiefs men's team is taking a physical beating in this period.
If you would like to have a game scheduled in your area, and you have a gym at a high school or college, an arena that seats more than 2,500 people, write to Bookings, Post Office Box 1827, Oakland, California, 94604. We'll try and skate a game in your city next season. And I mean by that this fall, this November, December, January, February, March, or April. Let us book a game in your city.
Here we go with another jam. And Bob Woodbury working on Bill Grohl again with Bobby Seaver. As soon as he gets back into action, they go to work on him. They're blasting him. Here comes Gibson on the jam. Mike Gammon cut it off. Let's see what they say. 1 point Red Devils. Gammon was not the leader at the time, so Bill Grohl is down again. Bobby Seaver and Bob Woodbury went to work on him as soon as he got back on the track. 36-35, 1 point by the Red Devils. They move out in front now. Bill Grohl is going to need that rest period, I think, for sure.
You know, the way he is so groggy out there, Walt, you almost think they're close. They're within 1 point of the Red Devils. Perhaps he should just go to the bench and take the break now and not risk possible injury.
Well, the kind of heart he's got, he won't go in there unless they carry him in. Which they've had to do twice in this period. Practically. Here we go again. Watch the head of the pack. Woodbury and Grohl. Woodbury sends Grohl up near the rail, but he got away from it. At the rear of the pack now. Woodbury going after Bill Grohl with a shoulder block. Bill Grohl back on the inside. He's got blocking position on Woodbury now. We have jammers out there. They are. At the rear of the pack, Bill Grohl and Woodbury. At the rear of the pack, they're going to have it out back there. At the rear of the pack, there are the jammers. Woodbury back to the block now. First man up is his man, Jake Harris, 14. Bill Grohl blocking on Jake Harris, 14. Bill Grohl, 49. Alfonso Reyes up there scoring position, 16. Mike Gammon over the rail goes Jake Harris. Back on the track he comes. Alfonso Reyes blocked out. Larry Lee. Now Larry Lee and Mike Gammon are moving on the jam. Moving on Joe Stafford. They're controlling things right now, the Chiefs. There they go. They take him out of there. Point apiece. That is 2 points for the Chiefs. Mike Gammon and Larry Lee combined to do the job on Stafford. They lead now. The Chiefs in front by 1, 37-36 with a minute 55 to go here in the 6th period of play.
This Chief team is amazing for its balance. You look down the lineup, nobody is terribly big. Nobody really seems to stand out, you say, as you go along. But suddenly, they're back in the game. They're always in there. You can count on Perez for points. You can count on Larry Lee for points. Sam Tiapulla if necessary. And certainly Mike Gammon. And John Early, who's out of the lineup, is very missed in this game, too.
So here we go again. Pack is formed. Both clubs at full strength. Minute 20 to go in this period. Could be the last jam in the period. And Charlie Gibson's out of there again. Mike Gammon in pursuit. Perez is also out, blocking on Tauscher. But Perez hits the block and he goes down as Tauscher evaded him. Mike Gammon blocking on Tauscher. Now hips him into the rail. Now Mike Gammon will take off after Charlie Gibson. See what kind of a match we got here. Gibson with the height and the weight with Mike Gammon. An all-time great. They've got the pack. Bill Grohl there blocking on Gibson. Puts him on the rail. Gammon hits him. He hooks the rail and goes down, wrapped around him with the leg. Gammon, Bill Grohl, both knees to black of Woodbury. Hammers him with an elbow. Mike Gammon for the point. Bill Grohl leading the charge. Mike Gammon right behind him. Bill, there he goes. Mike Gammon on the inside. 4 big points for Mike. Helped by Bill Grohl. And the Chiefs in front, 41-36. And Woodbury giving it to Bill Grohl at the other end of the track. Working Bill Grohl, right hand right on the chin after a couple of knees in there. There's Woodbury. Bill Grohl is down again. 10 seconds to go in this period. He'll need the rest to get ready for that 8th period. And Monty talking to Bob Woodbury there, probably telling him well done. And that's the end of the 6th period of play with the score. The Chiefs 41 and the Red Devils 36. Action continues on the bank track here at Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco. Action coming your way on the Chief Network. This is Walt Harris and Jerry Seltzer calling the action. We're moving now into the 7th period of play. The score, the Chiefs 41, Red Devils 36. We have 4 jammers out of movie. At the rear of the pack, Saunders getting it from 3 Chiefs. There's 1 point, there's 2, and she cuts it off. Chiefs with the lead in the jam went by Saunders, blasted the track by Judy McGuire now. Fisher's looking the other way, works both ways. And Sandy Dunn into Durand with both knees. This time she was caught though by Bill Morrissey. Yeah, if they take out Saunders Durand, they'll take the heart right out of this Chief girls field.
I know.
43-37 now the score.
I know at the end of this telecast, Walt, you're going to be talking to Sandy Dunn and Bill Grohl and get their impression of this Red Devil team. It occurs to me this is the first time the Red Devil team has been seen on the Chief Network. First game all season.
And for that special summer series they got coming up, Joni Weston will join them for that one series. Also, the Bald Eagle Bob Hine and the Wildman Nick Scopa. So that will be a tremendous series in the East in August. I'll give you the dates. Maybe start giving them to you right after this next jam. Remember the dates, remember the places. See this special summer series. Here we go. Judy McGuire is out. Rose Duran in pursuit. Duran blocking on Judy McGuire. Down goes Judy and away goes Rose Duran. Red Devil team badly misses Ann Cavello, who has just had the cast taken off her leg the other day. Jody Weston will skate that special summer series for him against the Chiefs in the East. Watch Rose Duran. Judy McGuire blocking. Rose Duran's the only girl in scoring position. For every Chief she passes, you get credit for a point. Down. Judy put there by Saunders. 1 point. Another block in there. Duran has 4 points. 4 points. Thought she was going to get 5, but Green Gallagher had moved away from the pack of the Chiefs, so there's only 4 left in the pack. 4 points for the Red Devils. They have 41 and the Chiefs have 43. We've got a pretty high-scoring game going here. Those dates coming up in the East to remember. August the 5th, that's on a Sunday at Comac, New York, Long Island Arena at 7 p.m. August the 6th on Monday, Binghamton, New York at the Brome County Memorial Arena at 8 p.m. August the 8th on Wednesday, Syracuse, New York, the Onondaga County War Memorial at 8 p.m. August the 9th and Thursday, Glens Falls, New York, Senior High School Gym at 8 p.m. August 11th on Saturday, New York City at the Felt Forum at Madison Square Garden at 8 p.m. Inman Arena, great place to see the action. August the 12th and Sunday, Troy, New York, RPI Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. The rest of the days later. On the jam, Catherine Shaw, number 16, out there and moving. Barbara Baker, number 48. Second jam, Claudia Hoppy, 29 for the Chiefs. Doris Roberson, 13 for the Red Devils. Baker still in front. There they are. They battle around the stretch. Shaw trying to get back in there. Gets Baker off balance and puts her down. So Catherine Shaw moves away, number 16. Here for the Red Devils. So they have the only threat going right now. They trail by 2. 8:30 to go here in the 7th period of play. Sandy Dunn back there to block. The great Sandy Dunn. Hammers a block in the Shaw. Another block. And again, On the rail, loses a lot of ground. She's got to catch the pack again now. Time running short. 3, 2. Baker goes back with the block on. Time runs out. No point scored on that jam. It remains 43-41. The Chiefs lead the Red Devils. The rest of those dates. August 13th on Monday, Kingston, New York at Dietz Memorial Stadium at 8 p.m. The rain date will be August 14th. Wednesday, August 15th at Jersey City, New Jersey at Roosevelt Stadium at 8 p.m. The rain date there will be August 16th. August 17th on Friday at Springfield, Massachusetts at the Civic Center at 8 p.m. And August 18th on Saturday, Uniondale, New York, Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum at 8 p.m. The only chance to see skating action this summer. The regular season will not open until the latter part of October. That'll be a great series. The Red Devils, the team you're looking at now, against your Chiefs, with the addition of Joni Weston, Bob Hine, and Nick Skopas for that series. That'll be a wild one. Durand again out on the jam. Last time she's out, she picked up 4 points. She's got company. Judy McGuire is out with her. Durand. Judy to the inside. Durand gets away from her. Judy to the block and Durand into the rail. Judy McGuire all by herself now, moving here for the Chiefs. Chiefs lead by 2. They'd like to increase that margin. They might need it. This Red Devils men's club is mighty powerful. Judy throws Durand back there to block. 25 seconds of jamming time left. Plenty of time for Judy. Watch this Judy. She can make a lot of good moves out there. Look out. Now it's speed. Now it's speed. Judy has it. She has the point, too. Saunders blocked by Sandy Dunn. Another point for Judy, who then cuts it off. McGuire sort of suckered Durand into that because he got her slowed down and then a burst of speed, and Durand couldn't get the speed up that fast. 2 points for McGuire and the Chiefs, and Judy gets it there from Durand. 45-41 is now the score. 6:10 to go, and I think Durand will draw a penalty.
You know, you look at this Red Devil team, it's a young team that has not even skated the full season. They almost defeated the Bombers in the series. They, in the Founders Cup tournament, they lost in the first round to the Chiefs, but in the for the third place game, they played the Pioneers, and they beat them by, well, 9 points. And that Pioneer team is a good team.
Pioneers are loaded with talent, especially now, too, that they have Buddy Atkinson Sr. as a new infield coach in that Pioneer club.
Well, I think they're going to be the team to watch this season. It's going to be a great season coming up, and this summer preview that you've been telling the fans about is something really to see. And most of those buildings are air-conditioned, or if they're outside, it's a great way to watch it.
Doris Roberson out with 13 with her. Number 49, Claudia Hobby. Barbara Baker out 48. Also out, Catherine Shaw with the Red Devils. Claudia Hobby has the lead. Little Dolores Roberson moving on her. Penalty box is Durand for the Red Devils. They're down to 4 skaters on display. Hobby hammering away at Roberson. Roberson stays on her skates, though. Getting that oversized jersey. They're coming up on it, in trouble to ruin the fact. Red Devils get a point. Debbie Thompson, I believe, has been roughhoused there by Rosetta Saunders, and it's a point for the Red Devils. Roberson got by and cut off the jam before she went down. 45-42 now the score. The Chiefs still lead. Trainer there checking with Debbie Thompson.
As we've mentioned frequently, the letters we get the most say, how do you get into this game? How do you learn to be a skater? Maybe after this next jam, we'll give you the information on how you can get in the training center. Debbie Thompson, beautiful girl. The whole Chief team is a very pretty team, Walt. Carolyn Moreland, who, as we mentioned, is out of this game, but will be back for the next one. Judy McGuire, Barbara Baker, Sandy Dunn. Kind of answers the question, you know, what kind of girls get into roller derby?
Here we go. Durand whips out. Rosetta Saunders. Durand started the jam and whipped out Saunders. Couldn't skaters to go out after a jammer starts to play in. Another one has. That is Sandy Dunn moving on Saunders. Leg back there by Saunders. The elbow. Oh, wicked elbow smash by Rosetta Saunders. She's all alone in the jam now. Sandy Dunn is back in the pack. She goes to the rear of the pack immediately. She wants to even the score with Saunders. Saunders in scoring position with the Red Devils, who trail by 3. Sandy Dunn, hard blocks. Another, she really puts it into that elbow block. Another one in there by Sandy Dunn. Another one. Another one hammered in there by Sandy Dunn on Saunders. 15 seconds left of jamming time. Sandy Dunn, both hands to the back of the head. It's almost judo work. He leaves Saunders on the rail. Saunders slow, coming off the rail. She goes by. Oh, Sandy Dunn got faked out. Saunders had enough left. It looked like she was wobbly, but she had enough left. And she faked out Sandy Dunn, and she picked up 5 points for the Red Devils. And they lead 47-45.
There are 2 league training centers in the United States. The Pioneer Training Center is open every night and Saturdays and Sundays at the Chicago Amphitheater. Lou Donovan Trainer, beginning, intermediate, advanced classes. For information, call area code 312 in this number. The Bomber Training Center, 631 Buena Vista Avenue in Alameda, California. Operated by Buddy Atkinson Sr. Classes nightly, Saturday and Sunday. Minor league teams now operating. For information, call area code 415 and this number. These are the only 2 training centers in the United States affiliated with our league. So if you want to get in, skate for the Chiefs, any other fine team, be sure and join a roller derby training center.
Judy McGuire out on the jam, and with her Rosetta Saunders. Coming out is Sandy Dunn. Wire put down by Saunders. Here is Sandy Dunn, the challenge. And she puts Saunders down. And Sandy Dunn signals ahead. I don't know what she wants. She is slowed down, not trying to pour it on. She's trying to set up a play. She's got to catch the back to make it work. Sandy Dunn definitely signaling ahead to what she wanted them to do. They're pouring the ball across the track now. Let's see what Sandy Dunn has planned here. Saunders back there to block. Set of Saunders. Here comes Sandy Dunn. A block by Saunders. Shaw breaks away from the back of the Red Devils. There it is. 2 points. No, 4. 4 points for Sandy Dunn. June McGuire with the first block that paved the way for Sandy Dunn to move through there. And they go back in front, 49-47. Jerry, you talked about the good-looking gals in this Chief Club, and you're right. You know, this is the most talked about spectator sport in America today. There's no question about the fan interest that it has. You can hardly watch a TV show on any network now that they don't talk about roller derby. The other night in The Odd Couple, they did a whole segment of roller derby. They introduced some gals playing the part of skaters. They had them gum-chewing, tough type, you know, and that's a stereotyped image that sure doesn't fit these gals.
Well, I know in the October issue of 2 magazines that are published by the same publisher, We and Playboy, there's going to be articles on roller derby. I don't know if we can mention that. Is this a family station?
Here we go. Judy McGuire on the jam, but 2 seconds. 1, and that is it. That is the end of the 7th period of play with the score. The Chiefs 49 and the Red Devils 47. Moving now into the 8th and final period of play with the men on the track. This is action coming your way from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. Walt Harris and Jerry Seltzer calling the action. 49 for the Chiefs, 47 for the Red Devils, and here we go. Getting out first, Joe Perez, 43 for the Chiefs on the jam. He's being pursued by number 11, Ted Tauscher, for the Red Devils. Both clubs at full strength. Perez, hard blocking at Tauscher. Tauscher stays with him, though. Perez gets away from Tauscher. Another block on him. Perez doing some great skating, but he can't eliminate Tauscher. They've caught the pack. Bill Grohl there to block now for the Chiefs. Joe Perez being blocked out by Joe Stafford. Joe Stafford, number 15. Bill Grohl blocking. Leg blocking there by Stafford. Hip block in there by Stafford. Another shoulder block. Facing the Perez is staying up. Stafford's been giving him some good shots. There's a jump block. Got him on his shoulders. That put him down. Tauscher now still being blocked out by Bill Grohl. A jump block in there by Stafford and Bill Grohl. But Bill Grohl got away from it. Here comes Joe Perez again. 3 seconds. 2, 1. That's it. No score on that jam. The Jammers gave it their all, but it wasn't enough that time. Score remains 49-47. The Chiefs in front. Last period of play. Remember, at the end of this game, we'll be having an interview. Did you want to hear? Bill Grohl and Sandy Dunn.
Well, we've certainly seen a team that has to be as physical as any in the league. And, you know, if it reflects on two skaters, it reflects on Ken Monty. His style of skating always was rough, aggressive, and hard. In the infield, Gibson being worked on. And it also reflects on Bob Woodbury. And it seems like all the men on this team skate like Bob Woodbury.
Sam Tiapulla's out, number 42. Now Alfonso Reyes in pursuit, and Alfonso Reyes is no exception. He takes Tiapulla out of there. Now it's Mike Gammon in pursuit of Alfonso Reyes. Quite a ways back, but the way Mike Gammon can fly, he's bound to be a factor before this jam ends. In the rail, Bill Grohl put there by Bob Woodbury. He's passed by Alfonso Reyes for 1 point. Seaver blocking on another man. They're 3 points in it. They're racking them up. 4 points. Oh, boy. Seaver blocking along with Bob Woodbury, and they did the damage that time. Lloyd Turpin was blocked out in there also. 51-49. The Red Devils out in front. This is a rugged Red Devil team. They're going to be strengthened for that series in the East against the Chiefs. That'll start August 5th, the game in Comac. August 6th, Monday, Binghamton. Wednesday, August 8th, Syracuse. Thursday, August 9th, Glen Falls, New York. Saturday, August 11th, New York City, Felt Forum. Sunday, August 12th, Troy, New York. Monday, August 13th, Kingston, New York, Eat Stadium. August 15th and Wednesday, Jersey City. August 17th and Friday, Springfield, Massachusetts. Saturday, August 18th, Uniondale, New York. Charlie Gibson out of the jam. Larry Lee chasing him. Larry Lee and Charlie Gibson. Gibson hammers down on top of Lee. This was warning Gibson about his type of blocking. He's telling the referee I'm doing everything legal. And Larry Lee hammers one in there, and he hammers another one in there. Sets him on the rail. Oh! Did you ever see a man do that on a parallel bar?
I think he could have won for the Russian team in the Olympics with that move.
Boy, oh boy. Larry Lee being blocked out by Bob Woodbury now, number 18. He needs a little help back there. Bill Grohl trying to get back there, but he can't get by Charlie Gibson. Woodbury blocking on Larry Lee. There to Gibson's back there now, and he levels Lee. I don't know. Gibson's going back again with both knees into Larry Lee. That'll be a penalty, and I don't know if a point is allowed or not, depending whether there's any time left in that jam. Gibson will go to the penalty box. And no point has gone up on the scoreboard, so it's just a 1-minute penalty on Charlie Gibson. No, they awarded a point too. There's still a second left to go in the jam. It's an illegal block on a jammer. The score now, the Chiefs 50 and the Red Devils 51. 7:15 to go in the game.
We want to state the obvious fact, but perhaps some fans don't know it who haven't watched roller derby before, that there can be no ties in roller derby. If the score ends in a tie, there will be a 5-minute sudden death overtime skated by the women. And if there's still a tie, then by the men. But
Jojo Stafford, a jammer, is going to whip out Woodbury, but Woodbury wasn't close enough to him, so he has to move away. He reached back, but Woodbury wasn't there. Sam Tiapulla after Jojo Stafford now. Sam Tiapulla coming alongside with the block on Stafford. Stafford lets him go by. Block in there. Tiapulla on the inside. Here's a block on Stafford. Got him going this time. He's got him going. Stafford recovers and gets away, but throws a block to Tiapulla. Evaded. And Tiapulla leaves. Stafford on the deck. Bill Grohl to lead the charge back there. Bob Woodbury 18 to do the blocking here for the Red Devils. Penalty time is up on Seaver. He comes on the track. Whereas on Gibson, Seaver came on to replace him. Woodbury headlocking Tiapulla. Tiapulla working on Stafford. Tiapulla has 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 points. There's Mr. Woodbury hung out to dry. 2 points it was for Sam Tiapulla and the Chiefs. They lead 52-51 now. The seesaw battle.
great camera shots there by our crew. Well, maybe we can tell the people who's working here today.
I'll check.
Okay.
Just check with them. Our director is George Lum. Cameraman Tim Kerrigan, Don Jackson, The other man's so high up in the balcony here, I can't even see who was up there.
I think it's Ernie because he showed me his pass.
Ernie Fields. Our floor director is Stan Potter. Also in our technical crew, we have Bill Brooks, Larry Landis, Ed Ensu, Maury Mervis. They do a fine job here in San Francisco.
We mustn't forget our executive producer today is Ken Kunzelman.
Here we go. Whipped out of the pack is Joe Perez. And Charlie Gibson whipping out Bob Woodbury. 1 point separating these two clubs. 4:50 to go in the game. Chasing Woodbury is Bill Grohl now. Here we go. Woodbury, long strides, gaining ground on Perez. Hammers him. Bill Grohl pouring on his feet. He's caught Woodbury. There he is, Woodbury. There he goes, Woodbury. Bill Grohl moving on the pack now. And the first man back there is JoJo Stafford, 15. Sam Tiafola drops back to block for Bill Grohl. Also coming up on the jam is Joe Perez with the double-barrel threat here by the Chiefs. They have 2 jammers and they have a blocker. They're in good shape. Bob Woodbury back there to block. Both these men can score. They're jammers. They're both in scoring position. The pivot skater Bill Grohl has the rights of a jammer because the jammer started the play. There's Mike Gammon taking on Woodbury. 2 points in there. Mike Gammon up in the air into Woodbury. Put him down. A point apiece. And it's 54-51. The Chiefs lead the Red Devils now with 3:48 to go in the game.
If you'd like to understand the game better and get a free copy of the rules, put your name, address, city, zip code number, and the station on which you watch the game on a postcard and mail it to Rules, Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California 94604, and either Walter or I will deliver it to your house. Or the postman.
Hope I get mileage.
There's a young fan, kind of hanging by the rafters here.
Here we go again. The Red Devils get 2 men out. Alfonso Reyes and Jake Harris. And Sam Tiafola in pursuit. The only man that got bottled up is Bill Grohl, and there's 2 points. Seaver, Stafford, and Woodbury bottled up. Bill Grohl. They're not satisfied with that. Seaver back there with an elbow. They're pounding away on Bill Grohl. They trail by 1, but I think they're going to lose a couple of men for this next jam. It could be costly to the Red Devils this late in the game. 54-53, the Chiefs lead by 1. Let's see who goes to the penalty box for the Red Devils. JoJo Stafford, I think, is the only one. Lucky it could have been another one, too. Could have been 2 men in that penalty box for the Red Devils.
Bill Grohl, the chief coach, is pretty groggy out there, but perhaps this is one of the benefits of an unplaying coach. Someone should argue a little more strenuously for another penalty there, because it sure looked like he was being fouled by at least 2 men.
Here we go again. Red Devils get the first man out, Charlie Gibson, even though they're down to 4 men, and the Chiefs have 5. They also get Bobby Seaver out. Larry Lee in pursuit. Bobby Seaver will worry about Larry Lee. Woodbury after Bill Grohl at the rear of the pack, and he's pounding away on him. Here comes Gibson. He goes by for 1. Seaver gets 1. The jam is cut off. 2 more points. Bill Grohl left on the rail by Bob Woodbury. 55-54. The score. The Red Devils in front with 1:48 to go in the game. Seaver skated a smart jam that time. He kept his eye on Larry Lee. Larry Lee would make a bid. He'd have dropped back the block. As long as he could stay ahead of Larry Lee, he could also pick up that point, and he did. First point was picked up by Charlie Gibson. Now the Red Devils could be back in full strength for this next jam, and they are. They scored 2 points with 4 men. That hurts. 55-54. 1:20 to go in the game. Mike Gammon fighting on the inside, but Gibson Reyes is out of there first for the Red Devils. He could almost skate out the time of the clock and assure a victory here for the Red Devils. They lead by 1. There are 2 Red Devils out now. They skated smart. They've got a game. Alfonso Reyes and Jake Harris. Bill Grohl in trouble. Taking down 2 more Red Devil points. They cut it off. 52 seconds left now. 57-54 is the score. There's time enough for another jam. If they get underway, goes the full time. Bill Grohl is hurting, though. He might not be there for the next jam. In fact, working on him could prevent them from getting another jam underway.
We want to remind everyone that if he's all right, Walt Harris will be talking to Bill Grohl and Sandy Dunn immediately at the end of this game.
They're helping him off the track. They need a new pivot skater out there. 25 seconds. Santiago puts it on. The Chiefs have to get a man out of there first. They only have 4 men in the track. They're entitled to another man. He rejoins the pack now. 15 seconds. They've got to get the first man out. Larry Lee is going to get out of there. If he gets ahead of Gibson, he does. The jam is underway. If Gibson gets the lead, he cuts off the jam, and it's a Red Devil win. He's going to get the lead. He's working on Larry Lee. He's got him going. That's it. Oh, he also picked up a point.
Oh, Mike Gammon. Look at Mike Gammon down there at the other end.
And Woodbury, Tiafulla in there now. Throws Woodbury to the infield. I think Bill Grohl, or somebody was thrown over the rail by Woodbury at the other end. And this wild Red Devil team was not satisfied with the win. They wanted to do damage before they got out of here, and they did.
This has to be an upset, Walt.
It is, and a wild victory here for the Red Devils. The final score, don't forget an interview coming up. The final score, the Chiefs 54 and the Red Devils 58. I'm with me, Bill Grohl and Sandy Dunn. They just lost a tough one to the Chiefs, and I guess as Jerry Seltzer said, it has to be considered an upset. Did you take this team lightly, Bill?
No, not really. I think they got the jump on us. As, you could see in the game itself, they're rough. They're a lot rougher than a lot of teams that we've skated against. And really, well, we were short tonight. We had a couple of guys that are hurt that are out, and it puts a lot of pressure on the guys. You got to skate full, complete like that. But I'm not using that as an alibi. They skated a hard, rough game, and we just got caught flat-footed. Yeah.
Actually, this is the kind of a game that you can't win them all, isn't it, Sandy? I mean, there can be nights when skaters go flat, because I know I've called a lot of games, and sometimes I'll call a game when the game's over and say, hey, it was so-and-so in the game, because she or he did nothing at the time. Yet the next game, like a house of fire. It's just impossible, isn't it, to skate a great game every night?
Well, you can't really. I mean, you go stale, like you say, like myself and Judy tonight. We missed each other so many times. Plays that we've done, you know, quite a few times. It just seems like we just weren't in the right place at the right time. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's from us being off for a while or what.
But as the world champions, you're still the best until you lose the title, right?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Anyway, I mean, well, the next time we come up against them, I certainly hope, you know, we win the next time. And I'm upset about it. Like I say, myself and Judy usually were right there with each other tonight. We couldn't seem to find the right spot. I don't know if it was because Carolyn was out with an injury, and you know it was hard for Barbara to fill her spot. Barbara had to take care of her spots, but plus Carolyn's too.
Now, Bill, Sandy said the next time you come up against them, well, you have a special summer series coming up in the East, starting August the 5th, where you have a series of games against this Red Devil club. And now I looked at their men's field tonight, and I really don't see any weak spots in it. It looks like a powerhouse. And yet for this special summer series, they've received permission to sign for this series both Bob Hine and Nick Skopas to help them out. And I don't see where this Red Devil men's team needs any help.
Well, I tell you, you see, they're fortunate enough, these skaters that they're picking up, you know, have skated out their contracts and what have you, and they're freelance skaters, so they got a chance, you know, to slap them a few bucks and say, hey, you know, and they want to skate. So really all they're trying to do is show a big impression, the Red Devils. But Hines, Skopas, really, I tell you, we get down to it, the guys field and the girls. We get down to skating. We got caught on a bad night. Like, you know, like you said a while ago, you can't win every night, and I'm hurting. I got injuries. Sandy's got injuries, but we don't use that for alibis. We go out and we skate hard. We got caught, but this is going to be a tough series now with Hines, Skopas, and you got Woodbury and JoJo Stafford. It's going to be tough. And I understand the girls, they're picking up a couple of girls, and they're going to have their work cut out, too.
Right. The Pioneers happen to be off for a while, so Joni Weston has received permission to skate for Ken Monty in this series. Now, she's going to add a lot of size to that team, Sandy.
Tell me, between her and Rosetta Saunders, forget it. Their size and their weight alone. Because Rosetta looks thin, but she's tall, and plus she has the weight.
You actually have a small girls team.
I have the smallest girls field, yes. Fast. Well, I'm not that fast. I just throw everything I have into them and pray.
Bill is right, though. They are the best, aren't they?
Well, I think my girls are the best, yeah. It comes right down to it. I mean, all of them skate hard. And I think that's why we win so many games.
Well, I guess when you go back east, go home for the special summer series against the Red Devils starting August 5th, the people are actually going to be looking at you and saying, hey, what are we going to do in the year 73, 74? I mean, because late October, you'll start your home season going after another title. So I guess you got to be at your best to show them you're going to be strong again this year.
Well, I certainly hope so, that we can keep the championship crown in the East, in New York, because the fans have been great to us.
The men going to be ready to repeat, Bill?
Well, I'll tell you what, we keep everybody healthy. This is the big thing when you get down to big games, playoff series, what have you, to get away from as many injuries as you possibly can. And as long as we're healthy, and everybody knows, well, we're number one, and we'll give everybody to go for it, and we're fast. That's
Good.
it.
Thank you, Bill, and good luck to you. Sandy, the best to you. Bill Gross, Sandy Dunn, a big summer series coming up back in the East against this Red Devil club. They were upset here tonight by the Red Devils, 58-54. This Walt Hare speaking from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco.